What is up, guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing? Doing good?
Yep.
All right. So week 9 is now in the books. I just got home yesterday morning from Arizona, and we went 8-5 on our picks. 8-5. And now week 9 is in the books. Now we go into week 10 of the 2022 NFL season, and the week 10 picks will commence now. First off, we got the Atlanta Falcons going to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Falcons, how the heck do you fumble that after you get that turnover and you just drop it on the ground? How the heck do you drop that? That's what I don't understand. Whew, man, I still cannot believe that he dropped that. Yeah, so as I was saying, like I said, phone kind of cut out there. So yeah, Falcons, Panthers. How the heck did that guy drop that ball after getting that interception and fumbling it, giving it right back to the Chargers? I mean, you had that interception and not drop it like that, you win that game. And the Falcons majorly blew it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was a tough loss for them.
Yeah, losing to the LA Chargers at home in Atlanta. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers got obliterated. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 touchdowns for Joe Mixon, setting a Cincinnati Bengals record for most touchdowns in a single game by a single player with 5. Man, they're playing at Carolina this time around. We all know what happened last time around a couple weeks back where Moore took the helmet off and freaking costed his team, and they missed the PAT, and the game went to overtime, and then Pinheiro missed what would have been a game-winning kick, and Atlanta ended up going down. Younghoe Koo went 7 for 7. That was the week that we went to the Seahawks-Cardinals game originally in Seattle. Remember, Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking the Falcons to get the sweep of the Panthers. Give me Atlanta.
Sweep. I'd say Carolina's more team in the NFC.
Yeah, agreed on that one. All right, and now let's start the Sunday slate. First off, the early morning game, and historic, the very first game ever to be played in Munich, Germany. We got the Seahawks taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that tough defense in Munich, Germany. The first ever NFL game in Germany. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers, in the last minute, Tom Brady hits former Husky Cade Otton for a game-winning touchdown, and the Buccaneers surprise and beat the Los Angeles Rams in the final minute. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, a couple days ago, I was at the game. You saw the epic celebration that I did live, and that dickbag asshole worker didn't even trying not to let me go to the front to celebrate the win of my team. Yeah, fuck that guy. You know, that's why I flipped all the shit on him after that. You know, I mean, he was just butthurt that the Seahawks came in and we just pulled out the broom in the Cardinals' house, completed the sweep, and I shit all over Arizona Animal in his own house. That was a thing of beauty. You know I really enjoyed that one if you saw it.
Yeah, I'll have to look at I haven't gotten a chance to look at your post-game video yet.
Yeah, I got a video.
I'll be sure to look it up.
Yeah, I got the first video of the Ken Walker. I got a video of the first Ken Walker touchdown too, which you can check out in my videos too. But man, I'll tell you what, just being there, getting that win, and the tough battle. I mean, granted, Boy Moffitt should not have been sticking DeAndre Hopkins earlier, but Tariq Woolen, man, he freaking shut down DeAndre Hopkins for the most part, and then freaking Kenneth Walker still continues to kill it on the ground. He shredded the Cardinals for 109 yards. When Noah Fant got the big catch and took it up 51 yards, I knew we were going to punch in the dagger and win the game. I mean, it was like, we're going to win. Right when Noah Fant got that play, I was like, we're going to go down and win this football game. Dallas?
Yeah, that was a big play.
It was a huge play, and, you know, I never sleep on Tom Brady. They got a tough defense, and obviously never sleep on Tom Brady. Brady may have just saved the Buccaneers season with that win against the Rams back on Sunday. And then obviously we're 6-3 with a big chance to go 7-3 going into the bye week after this, since we're all the way over in Germany. I'll tell you what, 6-4, 7-3, I'll tell you what, I never thought that we would be up there with the record we have now, which is currently 6-3. But if we get to 7-3, or if we end up losing and drop and going 6-4, I'll tell you what, That's a good record to have going into the bye week.
Yeah, would be.
Yeah.
With 7 left, would be in a good spot.
Yeah, exactly. And we never thought we'd ever be in this spot. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Seahawks to go into Germany and win the first ever NFL game in Germany. Granted, like I said, this game could go either way. I'm not sleeping on Brady. I'm not sleeping on that Buccaneers defense because we know they got a good ass defense, and plus got to stick Mike Evans and stick those weapons that Brady has, like Evans, Leonard Fournette. Is good is Godwin still out for Tampa?
He might be.
Yeah, but still, I'm gonna take the Seahawks to go into Germany and get a win and hopefully get the 7-3. Knock on wood, because I don't sleep. I'm not, because we could very much lose this game too. Just saying, because I never sleep. I never overlook Tom Brady, but I'm taking the Seahawks.
Let's take the Seahawks, but they keep it rolling.
5 in a row, yeah.
I expect it to be a tough one. Everybody has a chance to get to
Yeah, Dallas?
in the NFC South because it's not very good.
Yeah, Buccaneers back in first because they won that game and the Falcons blew their game.
Yeah, but it's going to be a tough game, but I think it's done.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions going to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. The Lions beat the Packers 15-9. That was a shocker. Aaron Rodgers absolutely shit the bed. 3 interceptions in the red zone against Detroit. One of those interceptions picked off by Aiden Hutchinson, and Detroit pulled off a major upset. Meanwhile, the Bears had a little bit of a shootout with 2 on the Miami Dolphins, but ultimately fell short. But Justin Fields played his best game of his career in that game with all the rushing yards he had, including the long rushing touchdown. Yeah, Fields looked pretty good in this game against the Miami Dolphins last week. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm gonna take Fields to have a better day this week and end up getting the win over the Lions. I'm taking the Chicago Bears to beat the Lions. So give me Chicago.
Yeah, give me Chicago to bounce back, and I think that the Lions have a little bit of a letdown. Both teams are pretty bad, but I just like Chicago a little bit more.
But I give props to the Lions for pulling that upset though over Green Bay.
Yeah, and they probably won't have the number 1 pick now.
Yeah. Who has that now? Houston?
Houston.
Dang. All right, up next we got the Cleveland Browns going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Cleveland Browns last week, I think they were in their...
They had a bye week.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns were in their bye week, but we all know what happened on Halloween. Absolutely went wild on Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and obviously Myles Garrett coming in as Vecna for Halloween and just wreaking havoc on the Bengals offense, and Bengals clearly still missing freaking Jamar Chase. Granted, Joe Mixon had the big day yet back on Sunday against Carolina. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, like we said, Tua Tagovailoa having a little shootout with Justin Fields, but ultimately getting it done in the end. And the Dolphins, and we get to see Bradley Chubb, like we mentioned. They made the trade to get Bradley Chubb, and then they have Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. contributed to the Dolphins' big win on Sunday, and I'm going to take them to continue it. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins to get a dub against the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking Miami.
Yeah, give me Miami to make it 4 in a row and stay in the mix.
Yep.
In that AFC East, that's a pretty damn good division this year.
Yeah.
Every team's above 500.
Yeah, man. All right, up next we got the Denver Broncos going to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. The Broncos are coming off their bye week after barely escaping in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, with Malik Willis, took on Kansas City, and they could not hold back Mahomes as he had that epic that touchdown run, and cashed in with a run of his own on the 2-point conversion to tie it up, force overtime, and in the end, get the Butker field goal and get the 4 and out against the Titans and handed the Titans an L. But, here's the question, though. Is Ryan Tannehill going to be back this week for the Titans?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of teams struggle with, I think, the Broncos, we all know Derrick Henry is going to run on them. I know they got a pretty all right defense, too, but, Tennessee. And no, I think there's a good chance we see Ryan Tannehill back on the field this week. Malik Willis stunk it up at the end though too, but yeah, I bet you they're going to be feeding Derrick Henry a lot this week. And if they have Tannehill back, I think they might get Tannehill back. But if we see Willis, but Derrick Henry is going to be too much for that Broncos defense. Therefore, I'm taking the Titans to hand Denver another L. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, give me Tennessee. I just can't see Denver winning 2 in a row, especially still against a good Tennessee team on the road.
Yeah, and once again, thanks for nothing, Jacksonville, back in London.
Yeah, I think we're done picking Jacksonville this year.
Well, Jacksonville did beat the Raiders, so,
yeah.
Man. All right, up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Kirk Cousins got a little revenge on his former team last week. It was a close game, but in the end, Cousins prevailed with the "you like that" back at Washington, taking down his former team, the Commanders. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills, how the heck did they lose to the Jets, man?
Yeah, I don't know. They let that one slip away.
Yeah, and Sauce Gardner with the interceptions played a phenomenal game, and man, just the Jets had a great game plan going into that game, and they were able to. And I think they even did some damage. I think Josh Allen hurt something in his elbow.
Yeah, it's uncertain if he's going to play this week.
Yeah, I think
This would be a good game.
I think he's going to end up playing anyway. This game is surprisingly good. The Vikings only have one. The Vikings are 7-1. The Bills are 6-2. The Bills are going to be pissed the way they blew this game. And, Kirk Cousins versus Josh Allen. I'm favoring Josh Allen a little more. No offense. I think this is going to be a good game, but I'm taking the Bills to bounce back.
Yeah, give me the Bills to bounce back and hand the Vikings just their second loss. But I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota gets to 8-1.
I wouldn't be.
Minnesota's defense has been playing really well.
Phenomenal defense. Vikings have been playing phenomenal defense, man. I give them props for the way that they're playing, man, and how well coached they are. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the game of the week.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Houston Texans going to New York and MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. The Houston Texans are I think they're coming off of their bye.
Thursday night.
No, Thursday. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thursday night trip. That's right. They got pistol whipped.
Fairly close loss to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, why do I keep thinking certain teams are on bye weeks? Screw that. But anyway, yeah, Houston Texans lost to Philly. They were hanging surprisingly close for a little while until Philly pulled away in the second half. That was our lock of the week. Meanwhile, they got they're going into New York, taking on the Giants, coming off of their bye week after we spanked them with Kenneth Walker at the end in the second half. It was a tight game between us and the Giants, but in the end, after they tied it up, we went downfield and we were able to get the freaking who scored that? I'm thinking, who scored that touchdown back in? Oh yeah, Tyler Lockett had a rough day, and Tyler Lockett scored the first touchdown. Then Richie James fumbled it twice, and the second time, and then we cashed it in for the Kenneth Walker touchdown to beat the Giants 27-13. I remember that because I was there. But yeah, I'm taking the Giants against the Texans. This is an easy decision. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, give me the Giants to bounce back. The Texans are clearly the worst team in the league, and they are in the driver's seat, in my opinion, to get the number 1 pick in the draft.
Saquon Barkley's going to run wild against that Texans team.
I say their only other win might be Jacksonville the rest of the way. They might sweep Jacksonville again. Those will probably be their only 2 wins.
Yeah. Speaking of Jacksonville, they're next. Jacksonville Jaguars going to Kansas City to take on the. Yep, Jaguars after taking down the Raiders at home, taking down the Las Vegas Raiders at home, go to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who pulled that crazy comeback. Never count out Patrick Mahomes. He freaking did it all in the second half and willed his team to a win. Granted, the defense finished it in overtime with that 2017 victory over the Tennessee Titans. Man, this is too easy. Chiefs are going to kill the Jags. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City, big. They're just so much better than Jacksonville. You know what? Make it my lock of the week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a lock. There's 2 games that are gonna. There's gonna be 2. I'm gonna be honest with you. Spoiler alert. There's gonna be 2 locks this week, and this is the first one. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The New Orleans Saints just got leveled by Baltimore last night on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are gonna be.
Weren't they on a bye after getting destroyed by Philadelphia?
Exactly. They got epically boned by Philadelphia. Philadelphia just waxed them hard a couple weeks back, and now they're coming off their bye. And now they take on the New Orleans Saints. This is a toilet bowl. This is a tank. This is as your name tree.
The Saints are one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year.
But who's more disappointing, the Saints or the Steelers? I know the Steelers.
The Saints, in my opinion.
I know the Steelers ended up beating Tom Brady earlier this year too, but still, what else have they done? They haven't really done much anyway.
No.
Shoot.
I know they beat Cincinnati in week 1, but yeah, they clearly need to get a quarterback.
Yeah. Who the Saints? Saints do too. Granted, they have Andy
Saints
Dalton.
have been injury riddled also this year.
Michael Thomas out for the year.
Jarvis Landry's been out.
Yeah. And the Steelers obviously still no T.J. Watt.
Yeah, this is kind of like the toilet bowl of the week, tank bowl, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Saints.
I'm taking New Orleans. I was thinking Saints as well before doing this video because I think Taysom Hill's going to run wild on them if they run him in the Wildcat. And Alvin Kamara.
And as bad as the Saints' record is at 3-5, I think.
Yeah.
3-6 maybe. Because I don't think they've had their bye yet. They're still only like a game out of the NFC South. That's how bad the NFC South is.
Yeah, the South is. But granted, the Saints did beat us, and granted they did beat us, and they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. So, yeah. And then wait, the Saints only have
and
3.
They beat Atlanta.
Yeah, they did beat Atlanta too.
So they only have one division win.
Yeah, and that's the Falcons.
Because they lost to Carolina and Tampa.
Right. All right. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Vegas to take on the Vegas Raiders. Another dumpster ball, but now the Indianapolis Colts just fired Frank Reich yesterday, and they go and get one of their legendary centers to be the interim head coach. Jeff Saturday is now the interim head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, the Raiders up 17-0. How the heck do you blow 3 17-point leads? You blew 3 of them this year.
This year,
Yeah, 3 this year. 3 17-point leads the Raiders have blown to Kansas City. And this past week to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who else did they... Oh, yeah, and the Arizona Cardinals, who we just came out and just stuck it up their asses in the second half at the end of that game to get our dub and sweep them and pull out the broom in the desert. The Raiders, I mean, dang. One of the biggest disappointments, Davante Adams can't be too happy. I bet you got Davante Adams wishing he was back with Aaron Rodgers right now, for God's sake.
Yeah, there's no doubt, in my opinion, they're the most disappointing team in the league. They actually have a lot of talent on offense. They should be better than what their record is.
Exactly.
Their defense has just shit the bed this year.
Big time, man. But regardless of it, the Raiders are still better than the Colts, so I'm taking Vegas here. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders.
Give me the Raiders, to bounce back after that really tough loss at Jacksonville. The Colts are just a mess.
Big.
The Colts are another team that's one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year.
Yeah. Whew, big time. All right, up next, we got the Arizona Cardinals going to SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Cardinals, you already know what we did to you back on Sunday. I know because me and my dad, we were there. Pulled out the broom in your house. Pulled it out in your house. I got to be there for that epicness. I celebrated with a bunch of my players after that. That was a fun trip. Me and my dad had a good freaking time down there in Arizona. That was a fun trip, man. Even saw a Bugatti Chiron inside that dealership. Check out that video too. Saw some cool cars at that dealership, but just got the Bugatti Chiron Sport. That was all. But, had a fun trip, ate some good food, went to the game, went to the takeover party, and the 12s, we took over that stadium. We freaking took over that stadium. I saw a lot of blue and green in the seats, man.
Yeah, you talk about 2 disappointing teams.
Yeah.
You're looking at them.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Rams blew that game to Tom Brady. And Tom Brady with another improbable comeback. All the Rams had to do was get first downs, but, the Buccaneers defense stepped up and gave Brady another chance, and Brady got another improbable win.
Yeah, and that really really put a huge... The Rams have quite a bit of hole to dig out of now.
Yeah, but other than that, though, we pretty much buried the Cardinals. The Cardinals are done. It's clear that they're going to finish last place in the division. We pretty much, I mean, we put the nail in the coffin a few weeks back in Seattle, and back on Sunday, we just buried them. And I was so grateful that I got to be in the house for that, man. I got to go down to their house and pull the broom out for the sweep with the team. That was just an awesome day, fun day. And the best part was, I mean, granted, when I was standing up a couple times, some Cardinals fans telling me to sit down. You know what the best part about that was? Seeing them leave for the X's when we punched in the final touchdown with Kenneth Walker, watching them all leave for the X's while the Seahawks fans remained and got to celebrate on their house, completing that sweep. And you know something? Cardinals are about to get swept again. The whole division's going to sweep the Cardinals, in my opinion. Give me the Los Angeles Rams to take their frustrations out of blowing that game against Tampa and just taking it out on the Cardinals. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams to sweep the Cardinals in a matchup of two very disappointing teams. Dating back to that 7-0 start last year, the Cardinals are 7-13 in their last 20.
Yeah.
What a tailspin.
Exactly. No wonder why they want Kingsbury and Keim gone in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't see how he survives after this year.
Yeah, and plus, you know, they did overpay that overrated midget Murray, which shout out to Shelby Harris, got to celebrate a bit with him. I told him to sack that overrated midget when he was in his pads when I hung out by that tunnel more. I said, hey, Shelby, knock that overrated midget on his ass, and he came through on that big third down stop, which we went down and got the first Kenneth Walker touchdown on after forcing the punt on that. Yeah. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys going to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers, where Aaron Rodgers just absolutely shit the bed in Detroit back on Sunday, throwing those 3 interceptions in the red zones. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are coming off of their bye week after they pretty much beat the crap out of... Who did the Cowboys play coming off of the bye?
It was Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Chicago. That's right, yeah. They kicked the crap out of Chicago last week. And the Cowboys are now coming off their bye, going to take on another one of the biggest disappointments this year in the Green Bay Packers. This is easy. I'm taking the Cowboys to go to Lambeau and just spank them. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys. The Packers are just bad this year. It's probably going to be Rodgers' worst season of his career. No doubt.
No doubt. Indeed, Dallas. Indeed. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Levi Stadium up in the Bay Area for Sunday Night Football to take on the San Francisco 49ers. The Chargers they got lucky. Let's be real. They got lucky that guy for Atlanta dropped the ball after getting that turnover, and they got another chance to get in the field goal range and kick that game-winning field goal to beat the Atlanta Falcons by 3. The Chargers got so lucky that guy dropped that ball after they basically turned it over to get it back. They were lucky to get that one back. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers are coming off of their bye week, and before the bye week, they pretty much took care of their business against the Los Angeles Rams, completing the sweep of the Rams. Hold on, now I gotta get down. So yeah, as I was saying, the 49ers are coming off of the bye week after they swept the Los Angeles Rams, and the Chargers barely got out of Atlanta with a win. So this is another easy decision. I mean, the Chargers still got the injuries, but I don't think they can handle San Francisco. They're going to be well rested, and Christian McCaffrey's going to run wild. I'm taking the 49ers.
Yeah, give me the 49ers to get back-to-back dubs and get above 500.
All right, and last but not least, the Monday Night Football game. We got the Washington Commanders going to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Commanders got beat by their former quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and the Eagles took care of business on Thursday night, beating the... I mean, granted, the Texans hung in well with them in the first half, but the Eagles were ultimately going to pull away and just get that easy win over the Texans. And this is another easy one. And this is the second lock. This is the second lock of the week. Monday night lock. Philadelphia completes the sweep of the Commanders. I'm taking the Eagles to complete the sweep in my second lock of the week.
Yep. Give me the Eagles to get to, is it going to be 9-0?
9-0, yep. 9-0. They are 8-0 right now, and that will get them to 9-0.
9-0, and they're clearly the class of the NFC East this year.
And they're right now, I would say right now, they're also the class of the entire NFC.
Yeah, I think they're definitely one of the favorites to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC.
Yeah, for the first
It's
time.
a down year for the NFC this year.
It is.
Besides maybe Minnesota and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Every other team is, well, we're surprisingly good, but yeah, the top teams are having down years like Tampa and Green Bay and the Rams.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Who would have thought Geno Smith, man, it would be playing the way that he's playing for us, too. That's a feel-good story for us. I mean, we know the 49ers are good on defense, too, and man, they had some slides, too. But, other than that, that's our Week 10 picks. We got the Falcons over the Panthers, Seahawks over the Bucks, Bears over the Lions, Dolphins over the Browns, Titans over Broncos, Bills over Vikings, Giants over Texans, Chiefs over Jaguars. In our first lock, Saints over the Steelers, Raiders over Colts, Rams over Cardinals, Cowboys over Packers, Niners over Chargers, and final lock, Eagles over Commanders on Monday Night Football. And that is our Week 10 picks. Drop your picks in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, finger bang the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. And once again, thank you for watching the picks, and showing support to the channel. Thank you all for showing love when I was down in Arizona, pulling out the broom and bringing back the win for the Seahawks. Anyway, catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.